Okay, what I want to show you here now, we did the amino acids. That's what protein is. Now sugars, you're going to see these things strung along. That's how sugars are conserved and saved. You know, they fit into these long starch molecules, they call them, and everything else. Well, glucose. This is one the biology students hate chemistry, and it just breaks my heart because I don't know how you can learn biology without knowing chemistry. So photosynthesis is what makes glucose. We're going to come through and we're going to see glucose in water is when it forms this ring structure here. So this is what we're after. We're going to draw the ring structure. I'm going to draw all the OHs on it using our triangles. And there are no nitrogens, so all we're going to be doing is the diamonds, circles, and dots. Okay? So we see it's going to be a ring structure. First we're going to draw the oxygen in here just to get that out of the way. So up in the corner, here's an O. 2 bonds, so there's one that way, one that way. O is set. That's all there is to it. These are going to diamonds, so we'll draw our diamonds upright. Diamond, diamond. Now if you remember our ribose sugars, they form a 5-member ring. This is going to be a 6-membered ring. So with the 6 carbons, oxygen being part of that ring, what happens is one of the carbons is off all by itself way up here. So let's draw a diamond up there and then carry this on around again. We're going to another diamond. It's a 6-membered ring with 5 carbons. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. So there's probably just one more carbon in there. Connect them. This is glucose in a ring structure. But see now what happens, remember CO2 in water? That's what was making the sugars. So all these carbons still have oxygens on them. They're called OHs. There's a 3-dimensional structure to this thing. So this being flat, the oxygens can be going up or they can be going down. And the way we're going to draw this is alpha glucose, so call it alpha, has this O being down. And the O has 2 bonds, right? So we're going to put that, these are really alcohols, so we'll put that in the middle. We following this here? Get this down a little. They're right in the middle. So now we got all these OHs. And in order to make this is called the alpha, remember alpha glucose. If that's down, it could have gone up. So once we get that on there, there's the 4th bond, a dot. The next one over has the O going down. So now it's down. And it's an alcohol, so there's a dot. That carbon set. See, there's no double bonds, so this makes it real easy with the triangle, right? It's just a matter, is this O, this one, oh boy. Got to redo our triangle here. We'll make this one go onto that side because this is the one where the O has to go up. So draw a proton in there, that there. This carbon here in the middle, this has the one that should be going up. See, I'm learning this as we go along too. That one out here, this one back. So we're going to do this real rough to show us the first time how we're correcting ourselves. Forget that one. Got OH on there, so it doesn't matter up there. That just goes where it does. So there's O, dot, dot, OH. One more OH here is going to be on this one, so say that goes up, O, dot, dot. This one here has got 1, 2, 3 bonds, dot. So all we do is make sure that everybody has all their dots. So let's try this again. Music, they call it DCL capo. Take it again from the top. We are recycling our paper here, so here's one of our dirty pieces. So again, we're drawing glucose. Alpha glucose. 6-membered ring. One of the ring members is an oxygen. So here's an O. We know there's 2 bonds. So now we just need to draw our triangles, right? Triangle to a triangle to a triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, triangle. And now what we noticed was the one that's coming off is on the carbon next to the oxygen, so there's a triangle. So what we learned is that sugar's got a lot of waters hanging out on the end. I call OH kind of like waters because it's mostly all there is to it. So again, this being the alpha means that this O goes down. This O is down on glucose. Remember, we're doing alpha glucose. So alpha glucose has another oxygen. All these carbons, see they got oxygens on them? This diamond structure really makes it easy to see when they're on top or when they're on the bottom. This one up here, it doesn't matter, so we'll just throw that out on the side. So this oxygen probably belongs to that carbon because, see, every carbon is going to have an oxygen on it. So this one is considered that one because when it was flat, it formed up on a ring. So now that we have all the oxygens on there, these are OHs, alcohol groups, so we draw the dot in the middle. So that takes care of the 2 bonds on the oxygen. Oop, that doesn't get it. That does. I'm telling you, kids, this doesn't get any simpler. There's a proton on each of these, so boing, 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 boing. 2 on that because it's hanging out there. So the proton's on the carbon, and then you get the proton on the oxygen. So they number these too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why they'll call this 5' sometimes. This is the glucose molecule. And look how simple that was to draw. So now let's see when we get to a fatty acid. See if it gets much more complicated. And you know it's really not, because what we're going to find is once we're past what's called the triglyceride stage up here, there aren't going to be any oxygens. So it's just going to be diamonds. So let's take a typical what's called fatty acid. What makes it an acid are the carboxylates. So we got 1. That's why it's called tri. Tri is 3. And we know that the diamonds are always bound by 1 anyway. And what each of these gets, they all had OHs on them. Okay? So when we're binding these now, it's the O that holds them into place. So there's an O, there's an O, there's an O. And what makes the carboxylic acid is a carbon with a double bonded O, single bonded O. So since this was a carboxylic acid that went into that, for you dot freaks, let's get this going. 2 dots on the end, 2 dots on the end, 4 bonds here, so it only gets 1 dot in the middle. This is going to get an O here with 2. 2, go this way, 2. So now we just carry on the diamonds. Bond there to a diamond. Bond here to a diamond. Bond here to a diamond.